You joined me aboard a rather soggy Nissan LEAF. It is rather Welsh today, and I'm planning on driving this car tomorrow to Liverpool, which is about 120 miles away from here. Haha, you say, that's too far for an electric car, even one that has a claimed range of 124 miles. And you wouldn't be wrong. I reckon the real distance this car will cover is probably about 100 miles if the weather's not too bad. Won't need the heater, so that should be to my advantage. The problem is the rapid charger at Oswestry, I've checked online, is broken. That's usually my gateway to the north if I'm doing an electric car trip. I've taken the e-Golf and the e-Up there before. So with that offline, I'm struggling a bit. The next rapid charger available to me is up near Chester, but that's 98 miles away. So the question is, can we make it? Right, let's fire up the beast. Not quite the same as a car engine.
Tinkly tinkly.
Right, wait for the Nissan Connect to warm up. That's alright, it is taking us to where we want to go, which is 98 miles away, where the next rapid charger is. Our range in eco mode is showing us 116 miles. So let's see if we can actually make it. Well, we're here at Road Chef Chester Services. I'd love to insert some panic and pandemonium at this stage, but the truth is we've made it really comfortably. My glamorous assistant has left me temporarily, but we left the house with 96 miles to get here. The range, according to the car, was 116 until I put the air conditioning on, because it was pouring rain and we were steaming up, and then it dropped to 105. I've left it on. And I've tried to drive pretty much as I'd normally drive. I have been accelerating gently, probably 2 CV pace acceleration, but I've been driving along at 60 where I can, 70 on the motorway. It's lovely at 70, it really is very nice. By the time we were down to 50 miles to go, the car reckoned it had still got 90 in the tank. That was while we were still going quite gently. There was a lot of traffic on rural roads. We were probably only doing about 50 miles an hour. But we've arrived here with a full 24 miles of range, having driven over 90 miles. So we've done the 96 miles and we still have 24 miles left. So that's pretty darn good. It's not quite the 124 that Nissan claim, but then we've had the aircon on and I've been boosting it. So not been hanging about, and yet we're doing that. I think that's very impressive. So we've been charging for 4 minutes here now, and the battery's already gone up from, it was about 20%, it's already 27%. So we'll see how long it actually takes to get all charged up. By which time my glamorous assistant, who hates the head restraint on this car, will have returned. Well, we've been sitting here 18 minutes, we've got tea, we've got toast, because we don't like Starbucks. And we're now at, what's that, 65% charge. We've got 79 miles in, more than enough. So once we've finished eating, we'll unplug, carry on. Easy, this electric car lock.
This time.
This time. Take 2. Different gun this time. Hooray! Job's a good one. So You can see the charging voltage is currently 364 volts and the current is 106 amps, which is frankly a bit scary. That's going through this rather chunky cable. Let's see how long it takes. So after 20 minutes we've got the battery up to 85%, which the car reckons is good for about 98 miles. So that should do, although we've got to climb Windy Hill on the M62 for the highest motorway summit in the UK, so a few extra miles, probably a good thing. This is how you stop charging. First of all, you press the button, but then to stop someone just having a laugh and stopping you charging, you have to use your card to confirm who you are. And there we go. Wait for it to tell me to release the trigger. And there we go. Right. Press the button, pull that out, put this away properly because people don't. Slot it into its little house there. Make sure the end of it is covered up. Close the port, close the flap. And we can see our stats here. In 20 minutes we've gone up to 86% and we've put 14.9 kilowatt hours in apparently, which doesn't sound very many really, but I suppose it's a 30 kilowatt hour car, so we've put half a tank in effectively. That's probably about right. Onwards. Well, we did make our road trip and we successfully got home with pretty much no bother at all. However, during the journey back we learnt of the death of Joe Cox MP, which was strangely heartbreaking considering I didn't know the woman, and it rather sort of ruined the mood. I wasn't really up for discussing our journey home. Suffice it to say, we did make it, there were no problems. As it happens, I then decided to drive up to see some friends in Cannock and then down to pick up some wheels for my 2CV in Stow on the Wold and then back home. And that wasn't too problematic either. That was another 300-mile day, or so I thought. You see, the problem was I got to Strensham services on the M5. One of the chargers refused to work at all, and there was a Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV at the other one, so I was a bit stuck until they came back and I could connect up. I then charged up to 85% and a range of 111 miles and assumed that would get me home. And I must admit to a little overconfidence there. Having already done 98 miles on a single charge, I thought I'd be able to do 99. But of course that first charge, it was 100% when we left, and this was only 85%. So although it was telling me the range would be okay, the range is only a best guess. The range doesn't take account of the geography on the way back. And there were a lot of hills between Worcester and my house, so I found I was actually running out and I was convinced I was going to conk out. It got to the stage where I think I still had 11 miles to cover and it had dropped down to the second warning. It's the most urgent before it goes into turtle mode, where it literally just crawl to the side of the road and stop. So it stopped telling me what the range was, it stopped telling me what the battery percentage was. It's basically saying you really need to stop. I managed to drive about 10 miles in no circumstances. I'm quite good at limping a car along when it's got no fuel left in it, it would seem. That must speak quite a bit about my younger driving days. But make it I did, and I was certainly very relieved to get home. That was the worst case of range anxiety I've had for a very long time. And that is the problem. As soon as you step away from the motorway network or big cities, there's just not enough charging places. And that's not necessarily something that's restricted just to electric cars. I have a Citroen 2CV, it'll do 200 miles on a tank of fuel. And even in that, you have to be careful if you're out in rural parts, especially on Sundays or bank holidays, because you might not be able to find fuel. And that range anxiety is no fun whatsoever. So that concludes this test. It must be said still that the Leaf is still a very good car. I really enjoy driving it. Although Rachel has a problem with the head restraints, she finds, as I do to be honest, they're tilted really far forward. So in normal driving, it's right against the back of my head. I can't wear a hat. I imagine if I had my hair tied back, it'd be really uncomfortable and irritating. It would just keep catching. I don't see why they're like that. I mean, good for safety, but not very good for comfort. Otherwise, really peaceful, really quiet, really well built, this British built Leaf. And yeah, it's been another enjoyable experience. I've done over 720 miles in this one, and it is just confirmed that really I'm going to have to get an electric car in my life at some point, hopefully not too far away. Thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Ta-ta.